everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm Celeste Joan. For those of you who don't know, I am a young adult contemporary, soon-to-be indie published author, hopefully by like April of next year, but we'll see how that goes. And today I have with me Trinity Lemm. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Trinity Lemm. I am a YA to NA contemporary romance author. I currently have 2 books in my series out, which again is a contemporary romance, and I will be working on the 3rd book in the trilogy tonight.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I still need to get your books and read them. That's like one of the next things on my... I have all the physical books that I need to read, and I'm like, I just want to keep adding to them because there's so many like new authors I'm finding. I
have like an entire shelf and a half on my bookshelf of books that I still have not read.
Yeah, I have like one of those like 6 like 2x3 cube things just full of books. I'm like,
yeah,
we'll get there eventually. But yeah, and then so you're working on the book 3 of that, and I will be working on draft number 2 of my young adult contemporary book, which has a little bit of romance sprinkled in there, which is what we're slowly getting into. I always like to add it in just for a little flavor. It's never like the main focus for most of my books, but I always enjoy adding it in.
I feel like every book needs like a little romantic subplot, you know?
Yeah. And it's like she's 15 years old in high school, like you're gonna have a crush. And
definitely.
It might not work out, but I mean, it's still fun to play around with. So yeah, that's super, super exciting. Whether you were watching the current stream or watching the replay, let us know what you guys are working on in the comments. But it looks like it's just us. I'm the one person watching it right now. Chill with me. So do you have a certain time you want to go for the first sprint?
No. Doesn't matter. Like 15 to 20 is usually what I start at.
All right. I'm gonna pull up. I don't know if you've seen one of my streams before. What I normally do, just to keep it like interesting a little bit, if I can share my screen correctly, because we've all had issues with that.
Don't even get me started.
There we go. So between 15 minutes and 20 minutes, we will be sprinting for 1879.
Oh.
Well, that's a long first sprint. Let's change that. That's a long first sprint. 1596. That's a little bit better. So that would be 1636. If I'm doing that mental math correctly, I think. And then I have to go back to the other screen.
Robin popped in.
Yeah. I'll get that in just a second. So that's all set up. Cool. One thing I like. But hello, Robin. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that covers your face. Hold on. See if I can fix that. That's a little bit better. Robin is cooking and might read later, but wanted to pop in and support you. Thank you so much. Yeah, cook. What are you cooking? Because I just had tacos for dinner. So let us know what you're cooking or what you're reading. Always interesting things.
Let us know what you're reading. For sure.
Always looking for new books, even though I have a lot to read.
I know, me too.
And then we have this lovely race that's going to happen. So we have a mummy, Carl the Clown. Don't know why he's Carl the Clown. Elphaba the Witch, and Remus the Werewolf. So go ahead and vote on who you would like to win the race, who you think is going to win. I normally pop mine into the comments just because I always forget. So who are you voting for this one?
I'm gonna I feel like I have to go for the witch.
Okay. And I think I'm going to go for the clown. And then Robin said, Puerto Rican rice and beans. Oh, that sounds good. Haven't picked a book yet, but it's one of the 4 I need to read for grad school. Nice, nice. I'm kind of glad that I'm currently done with school, so all my reading is purely fictional at this point. So, yeah, awesome. Cool. So are you ready to get into the first sprint?
Yes, I
Awesome.
am ready.
Cool. I think I have all my documents pulled up, and I'm actually like the most ready I've been for whenever I do this. So awesome. If everyone is ready, I can go ahead and start the sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity. All right, that is our first sprint finished, and the witch won the race. I completely forgot who all voted. Did you vote for the witch?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. That's great. The last time I streamed, only one of us won the entire 4 sprints we did, and we all voted for different people each. Everyone voted for someone different, and still only one of us won the entire stream. It was insane.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go ahead and count up my words. If you want to go ahead and share what you got done that sprint.
Let me take a look. Okay, I got about 275 for that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am just rewriting, so most of what I'm writing stays the same. So I was able to get 519.
Well, I mean, for rewriting, that's a pretty good number.
Yeah, it was just kind of, and it's like a bunch of friends are fighting with each other right now because drama. So It's just a lot of fun to just say stuff that I would never say in real life. So, yeah. Stephanie was able to join us. She's making dinner for the kids, but had the stream running in the background. Thank you very much. And hello as well. And then Robin, food is almost done, and I'll be reading Our Souls at Night by Kent Haroof. I'm a creative writing MFA, so we get to read a lot of fiction for class. That's awesome. I took a few creative writing classes. I took one creative writing class in college, probably the best class I ever took, and that's not my major at all.
I know. A lot of people ask me if writing is my major or whatever, but it's not. And I haven't taken any writing classes other than back in high school. But I don't know. I just feel like I don't need to pay for someone to teach me how to write if I am already doing it.
I completely get that. Yeah, because my advisor, because I had 2 classes and our scheduling is weird. And I took those 2 classes and then just filled up the rest with private piano and voice lessons and choir. So I was technically a full-time student. She's like, you should take this English class anyway. Just do something that's fun. And I'm like, I don't want to. And then I took it and I'm like, yeah, I needed this because it was just getting out of my box and actually sharing writing with other people as well, which was really, really fun. Robin is jealous of us writing tonight, hoping to get some writing in tomorrow. I love being in school for writing. I feel like it's something that I would like. I don't want to pay the money for it.
Well, yeah, because I didn't start writing until I was a freshman in college. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I kind of already had my major decided and everything. And a minor too, so I didn't want to add another minor on top of that because then I'd be in school forever, and I definitely didn't want to do that.
Yeah, if I didn't have to pay for it, I would love to just keep learning forever, not actually have to do any real work. But that's not a thing I can do. Robin's gotten a lot out of being in school for writing. It's a lot more than just learning how to write. There's a lot of experiences had and books I wouldn't have read without it. Yeah, I wrote a lot of interesting stuff for that creative writing class. A lot of things around the Cold War era. So a lot of stories ending with bombs. Just a lot of that. But there was also a bunch of other stuff. We did script writing. So we got to learn how to write a screenplay and
I always
comic books. It was so interesting. And so the Master of Fine Arts, I think, is what MFA is, enables me to teach writing at a university. See, I don't think I would do good teaching writing because, I admire people who can and just kind of meh.
I just, can't. I don't know how to, explain how to write.
Yeah. like there were some people in the class, and it was more than one person, like, and I used to do this as well, like who had trouble like keeping the same tense throughout their writing.
Yeah,
So it would switch from present to past. And I'm just like, I used to do this, but now it really bothers me because I've learned how to not, because I'm just so focused on it now.
And especially with things like that, like as a teacher, I feel like you can tell someone what they're doing wrong and you can keep correcting them and correcting them. But like if they don't correct it themselves, then they're just going to keep doing it. So it's like at that point, as a teacher, I wouldn't know how to go about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think I thought about originally doing like music education, but then my school that I ended up at didn't offer it. And then I was like, my stepmom suggested that I should do like teaching computer science because like I tutored it a lot. And like I could probably do the entry level classes, but there are just sometimes I don't have patience with people. And I'm like, how do you not get this? I am like spelling it out for you. How do you not get it?
Like I'm a business major and a dance minor, so I'm hoping to own like my own dance studio eventually, and then continue writing on the side.
Yeah.
So right now I have like a couple dance jobs at different like high schools and studios and stuff, just like teaching. And I'm the same way where I'm just like I can correct someone like numerous times, but afterwards I'm like, I don't know how else to correct you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I don't want to just do this, and then they're like this. I'm like, no,
not that.
Yeah, 2 minors and a major is a lot. I almost did, because I did a computer science major and a math minor, and the math minor was completely by accident. And then I almost did a German minor, but I completely, like, once I got to all, like, taught in German class, I was like, I can't do this, I'm out, no. Because I was overwhelmed, like, the first day of classes. I'm like, I can't do it, not this time. Stephanie's making chicken sandwiches, which that's always good. I have like I think a chicken breast or 2 still in my freezer, and I have like steak in my freezer and pork chops. Like I have all of the meats. I just need to cook them.
Those are good too.
Yeah, I want to make like steak tips with like bell peppers. That sounds good.
That sounds good.
I just need to figure out how to do the sauce. That's what Google's for.
I'm not good at cooking, so don't ask me.
Yeah. I feel like I could just like call up my dad and be like, hey, how do I do this? And he'll just send me a recipe.
That's how I am with my mom. But if I don't have like a specific recipe or something set in front of me, then
Yeah. Like I can like just cook a pork chop, but then like what do I do with it? Just put barbecue sauce on it. Set it. Robin loves the idea of teaching, but that's always been my thing. I used to teach dance, so yeah, and then worked daycare, and I used to tutor, so I enjoy that kind of thing. Yeah.
And I worked at a daycare too, and I teach dance too. Wow, look at us.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I just did a lot of like computer science tutoring, especially like when the whole pandemic thing hit last year or 2 years ago, whenever that was. We had to do that all like over like Zoom calls, which is awful. Like, because it's so hard. I'm just like, I just want to see what you're looking at and then fix it, but I can't.
Right.
But yeah, like I can do that. The only reason I would like go back to school is if I ever wanted to like teach computer science. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. Sorry?
What school did you go to?
I went to Hanover College, which is in southern Indiana. It's like right on the Ohio River, so it's really pretty.
Okay, so you're not that far from me then.
No. I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then Hanover was like an hour and a half southwest of that. And then now I'm up in Michigan. So I just jump up. Yeah, I'm up in the Detroit area.
But I'm in Kalamazoo.
Yeah. So I need to do a lot of exploring because I think I've been here like a month-ish and spent a lot of the time in my apartment.
Yeah, well, come to Kalamazoo whenever. I'll meet you there.
Yeah. And Robin, for you, has a lot in common. I minored in dance for my undergrad. Nice.
Oh, that's what I'm doing, Robin.
I wish our school had like fun stuff like that. Like we had zero like dance classes at all at our school, and I'm like, that would be something that like I really wanted to do.
That would not have
Because
gone down.
like our music department, it was a really small school, so our music department had 2 professors in it, one for choir, and then one for orchestra and band, and that was it.
Gosh, what division were you?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay, so
Tiny.
probably not a lower division.
Probably not. Like there were less than 2,000 undergrads.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really small. Like a walk across the campus would take like 10 minutes. It's tiny. So,
Dang.
yeah.
Yeah, we have, I think, somewhere between 25 and 30,000.
That's a lot.
I know.
Yeah. Awesome. So you ready for another sprint?
Yes.
Cool. I know there's an easier way to do this than I think that. Nope, this one. There we go. Now I can switch between the tabs. So we can go somewhere between, ramp it up a little bit, somewhere between 17 and 20 minutes. And we go for 17:51. All right, and this time we have some new characters. So we have Dracula the vampire, the cute little purple monster, the guy in the straight jacket, and Death.
I'm gonna go with Dracula.
Okay. I'm kind of torn between the purple guy and Death. Like whenever it's those two, I'm always torn. But I think I'm gonna go for Death this time. So people in the comments want to go ahead and get their guesses in as well. And we can go ahead and start the sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity! Speaking, oh goodness, that is the second sprint done, and I don't think any of us won that one, sadly.
Nope.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and count up what I got. I am having a trouble staying centered tonight. Oh goodness, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and count up the words I got.
I don't even know where I started.
I always have that issue. So I like highlight what I've done previously, and then, but most of the time I forget to do that. I was able to get 552 words.
Oh,
Which seems early. It seems similar to the one I got last time.
I got about 330.
Nice, nice. Are you feeling good about those words?
I think.
You think? Yeah.
I know. Sometimes I just get so stuck that I reread it a couple times, you know. Then I have to look at all my note cards because I always like write down certain words or phrases that I like, and then I put them on these note cards so that when I get stuck, I look at my note cards, and that helps me.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
But I know I need to redo them because I need some new content on here.
Yeah. I have so many notes just saved all over the place. I'll have notes on my phone in all of my various notebooks. I'm just I don't know where I wrote it down.
I know.
But it's written down somewhere.
I know. That's exactly how I am. On my phone, in my journals, Post-it notes, note cards, everything.
Yeah. Robin hopped off to eat, but Robin is back. Welcome back.
Good.
Awesome. Hope the food was good. I always have that issue when I'm cooking. I'm is it gonna turn out good?
I know, especially if I'm cooking for not just myself and else. I always get so nervous that I'm gonna mess something up.
My mom's always does it taste good? I'm you know what? Food is food. I'm gonna eat whatever. Yeah. But then when I'm cooking, I'm just is it good? Is the chicken actually done? I don't care if I get myself sick. No. I don't want to get anyone else sick.
I know. I'm the same exact way. I'm freaking out and cutting it just to double check.
Yeah, I was trying to make chicken and noodles and vegetables one time, and I was just gonna make chicken breast, the whole chicken breast, put it on top of the noodles. And then I got to the point where I couldn't tell if it was done, so I just cut them all into tiny little squares. I'm it doesn't look pretty.
Same exact thing. A couple months ago, I was cooking for me and my boyfriend, and I was making chicken, and I just it was already golden brown, you know, but I was still getting so nervous that for some reason it wouldn't be done. So I cut it up into little tiny squares.
Yeah.
And then I waited until I burnt all of them.
Oh no.
But burnt chicken is actually kind of good.
Yeah, I will agree with that. It gives it that little extra flavor.
A little crisp. Yep.
Yeah. Are you a person who burns marshmallows when making s'mores?
On accident, not on purpose.
Yeah. I don't try. It just always happens. Yeah. But you gotta make sure done all the way through. Yeah.
I know.
Robin makes what she made a lot. Semi-confident, but I still ask if it's good. Yeah, that's definitely me.
Me too.
My tacos, they could have been better, but I just kind of worked with what I had. I used the prepackaged seasoning, so I couldn't really have done a lot to make it better. Yeah. But I also might just have added a bit too much meat to each individual taco. It was a lot of food last night. So.
Soft shell or hard shell?
Depends on my mood. Most of the time I go soft shell.
Me too.
I feel it's less messy because with the hard shell you have to eat it sideways.
It all breaks and
yeah. I I have mastered like going to Taco Bell though and eating a hard-shelled taco while driving.
Oh,
We're getting fancy.
I'm so terrible at driving and eating. I like can't do it.
I've had like so many like long drives, like going from work to home a lot was like 30 minutes, and if I didn't have something to eat, I would just get so tired.
Yeah.
And then also like from my mom's house to my dad's for a while it was like 4 or 5, 7 hours from school, and so I'm like I just finally got around. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna figure out how to eat while driving. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that
Most of the time it was like just straight shut on the highway, and I'm like, it's gonna be good. We're good.
Oh yeah, I-94 all the way down.
Yeah.
That's like 100 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a few of those drives where it's just like, good, like literally the entire way across Ohio. I just took like one highway the entire time. I'm like, this is so boring.
I know.
But it's like the quickest way.
I know. That's how I always have to go to Michigan. But now there's a bunch of construction in Indiana.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. So it makes the drive like 45 minutes longer than it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the worst ever. So I hope they finish all that soon.
Yeah, there's just construction everywhere. Like right now, from like where I live to like work, it's supposed to be like 20 minutes. It takes about 30 or 40.
Mm-hmm.
And like, of course, the construction started as soon as I moved. Like,
right.
Perfect. But we're also not going into the office right now, so I don't have to worry about that. Just doing everything from home.
Yeah. I need to turn my heater off. It gets so cold down because I'm in the basement, and then and then it's way too hot.
Yeah, I normally don't keep my air on. Like in this room, I only have like a ceiling fan, so, and I don't want to turn it on too high or else it like overtakes the noise. But it's not doing anything right now. So I'm like really hot. But if I go out into my like living room and I turn the air on, then I like freeze.
Right.
Like, there's no comfortable in between.
I know. That's how my house is. Everywhere is either too hot or too cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like my couch is like right next to the air conditioner because it's like in like the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this isn't what I want.
Yeah.
I think we have about 30 minutes left, so we can do like a 20-minute sprint.
Okay.
That would work. And then chat for a little bit after. I'm not done with it. I'm trying to get like a chapter done every day, and that hasn't been going well.
I know. When I was writing Forever Burn, I don't know how, but somehow I finished writing the entire like first draft in less than 2 months.
Wow.
And it was like 110,000 words. I don't know how. I was writing every single day, and I don't know how I did it, because now I literally, for some reason, I cannot. Like my brain won't do it.
No, I remember like the very first time I ever like fully drafted something was for like Camp NaNo 2013. So it was a long time ago. And I like wrote this entire book, like 50,000 words in a month as like a 14-year-old. I'm like, how? And it was not good at all. Like there was so much happening in that book.
Yeah, when I was 14, I did not have a good enough attention span to sit down and write that much.
I kind of like used that as a way to procrastinate doing summer reading, because it was right before high school. So I would like get home from cross country practice in the morning and just write until like dinner time. But it also took me like an hour to write like 500 words. Like it was bad.
But I even still have days like that.
I do too, yeah. Especially like first draft, you're like, it has to be perfect. And I'm like, no.
I know.
No, it doesn't.
I'm always like that. I'm like, well, if I make it perfect now, then I won't have to go fix it later.
Yeah.
So that way too much time on like each individual scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a struggle of like, do I try hard now or just not?
Right.
Like even now, like doing the second draft, I still have like placeholder things for like town names, and like I have no idea what this coffee shop is going to be called. Nothing feels right. So we'll get there eventually. Just don't know when.
You know, I'm like that too, but with like full scenes. I'm like,
Yeah.
skip this entire scene and go back to it, which I wish I could just fill it in, but like a decent amount, you know,
Mm-hmm.
placeholder amount, and not
Yeah.
have to like overdo it every time.
Yeah. Okay. So, Robin always gets words. Always straight drafts through on draft one, so go straight through, and then goes back and fix everything that they need to. Yeah, that's what I try to do. Is just like write it, and then just like set it aside for a little bit, and then I'll like think about it in the meantime, and realize all of these different things that need to change.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot changes between draft one and the final draft, which same. Like I'm getting rid of an entire subplot because it just doesn't need to be there, and I don't feel like it needs to happen right now. It'll happen later, but not for this book. But yeah, like I think with the first book I drafted ever back in like 2013. And the third draft of that book, I like added an entire new character, and like everything changed in that book. Like the main character was the same, but everything else just changed.
I know. I like can't ever do that, like make giant changes like that, because it stresses me out too much. I'd say the biggest like major change I made was with Forever Frozen. I got like probably halfway through it until I decided I wanted to add Axel's point of view. So I had to go back and kind of like rewrite a bunch of the chapters and like switch the point of view and all of that stuff, which was like kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people liked having his point of view. So, and I like actually liked writing his point of view a lot. So, yeah, I think it definitely worked out. It was just such a hassle.
Yeah. I used to write like the first few books I wrote, which I still kind of work on now, but they're just very different. Each had like three main characters who all had their own plot going on all at the same time. I was like, this is a bit much. Like they were friends, but I'm like, I can't do this.
Right.
So I like broke that down and then just focused on like the one person. And eventually the other characters like, well, they'll get their own books because I like my side characters too much to not give them their own books.
I know.
So we'll get there eventually.
I know, I'm like the same way. A bunch of people are already asking for like a spin-off of two of the side characters, and I'm like, I need a romance break.
Yeah.
Like everyone is gonna have to wait if you want that. It might be a while.
Yeah. And then Robin added a character into their work in progress that they'll be reading in the fall. That's so exciting.
That is exciting.
Nice. First few books that Shira never ended up in editing, but this one actually did the whole process with, and it's amazing how much it can evolve from beginning of drafting. Yeah. A lot can change.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're ready, we can go ahead and get into the sprint. We have 4 newish characters. We have the Blue Zombie, Carl the Clown, Purple Guy, and Pete the Pumpkin.
I'm gonna go with the pumpkin guy.
I'm gonna go with the Pumpkin Guy as well, just because I normally always do whenever he comes up.
I like him.
He's so cute.
He is.
It's like all or nothing.
Yeah.
Either we got this or we don't. All right, so if everyone's ready, we can go ahead and start the sprint. In 3, 2, 1, happy productivity. All right, that is the final sprint finished. And the Pumpkin Man won!
Yay!
I was like watching the last 5 seconds and he just like sprinted forward. I was like, yes!
That one was pretty productive.
Yeah. I am so close to being done with this chapter. I just have like a couple more paragraphs to write, so that's exciting.
Yay! Productivity.
Productivity. I was able to get 632 words. That doesn't seem right.
Chunk though. Let's see.
And, well, it was like 20 minutes. Okay, that seems about right for 20 minutes. It's just, I had to think about that. I was like, that's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words. About 350.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay! Robin was able to start reading. They read 20 pages. The book is for a class called the Literary Novel, and there are no quotation marks in the book. That's interesting.
I don't think I like that.
I don't like that. Yeah, that would take a minute to get into. There was a book I read, and it was an indie published fantasy book. So of course it's longer, and like to cut down on like pages, I guess, like to help with the printing costs. He like made the paragraphs like it looks like a Word document, so like there was like a 1/2 inch indent on all of like the paragraphs, and it was just very hard to like look at because the indent was so much and all the paragraphs were like really smushed together, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, eventually I just tried to like zone it out. I'm like, this isn't good.
With indies, you can change the font size or the font if you want to make the pages smaller, and the margins. That's what I do. Like right now I'm at about 345 pages, but once I mess with the margins, it usually goes down like almost 100 pages.
Yeah, I did some like random formatting. I have no idea if it's correct or not, just to kind of try and get a feel for the page count instead of doing like 8.5 by 11 pages.
Right.
So like right now it's sitting at 253 pages. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty good. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's like spaced out correctly or not because I haven't done any of that before.
Right. I always do formatting last.
Yeah. It's just like when I'm like first drafting it always kind of, or like second drafting or whatever draft it is, it kind of helps to like see it on a tinier page to like think, okay, this paragraph is way too long, or this paragraph is like a line long, and I'm like, just kind of figuring that out.
Right.
Yeah, apparently there's no quotation marks in the book. That's very interesting.
Not a fan.
Mm-hmm. Like I know different like countries have a different way of doing quotations, but normally there's something.
I would just get too confused.
Yeah.
Of like, who's talking? Is someone even talking? Like
Yeah, it feels like a very bad like Wattpad story. Where like they wouldn't change paragraphs when people switch talking, and I'm just like, this isn't right. Yeah, I wouldn't like that either. No. I don't like that.
Not for me.
No. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the channel and doing this. It was super, super fun. If you want to go ahead and plug all your social, I think I have all your stuff listed in the description. Do you want to go ahead and plug yourself again?
Yes. So I am currently on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, but I don't really use it, and Facebook. So if you want updates on any of my work and whatnot, you can go ahead and follow me on any of those platforms. And yeah, I post on there pretty frequently for everything. So be sure to do that and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm supposed to be coming out with a video on like Friday, but I haven't done it yet, so I should probably hop on it.
Yeah, I was gonna film the video and put it up today, then I just never got around to it. So I'm like, it'll happen next week, but it won't. But yeah, go ahead, check out Trinity, all of Trinity's stuff. It should all be in the description. I think I added your YouTube like 5 minutes before the stream started because I was like, I forgot to do that the first time. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe down below, do all that fun stuff. It is very much appreciated. I've had a fun time watching my subscriber count do this over the past few days.
Me too.
It was like 174, 73, 72, 74, 75. I'm like, what's going on? It's always interesting. It's like a little roller coaster. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I am currently working on finalizing my live stream schedule for August. So I'll update all of that on my Instagram, where I'm trying to be more active. I just don't take enough photos. But I'll get working on that. And I think I have a sprint coming up this Saturday and then also on Sunday. So 2 days back to back. And then I have a link for the entire playlist for all my upcoming live streams in the description as well, if you want to check out those. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. And before we go, Robin also said, I'm fairly certain this is an American novel. There are only 2 characters so far, so that makes it a little easier. Fair enough.
Fair.
So, but still, it's like, are they talking? Are they thinking? How do you know? It's really interesting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, Trinity, for hopping on with me.
For hosting.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you guys all later. Bye.